So, starting on Tuesday, Stephanie McMahon announced that she was stepping down from her position as co CEO of WWE only days after Vince McMahon had announced his return to the board of directors. She released this statement on Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening on her Twitter and her other social handles, stating the following: Dear WWE Universe, about 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence, and within a few weeks, unexpectedly, had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known in my co-CEO, Nick Khan. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Levesque as chief content officer, I am confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for shareholders. WWE is in such a strong position that I have decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business where I started when I was a little kid as a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans, and I am grateful to all of our partners. Thank you for everything. Then, now, forever, together, Steph. Following the release of this statement, it was confirmed that Triple H will still be the chief content officer of WWE, and Nick Khan is still the sole CEO of WWE. Vince McMahon was unanimously voted to be the executive chairman of the board, and obviously, on Tuesday, the internet went buck wild because of the speculations and rumors that WWE had been sold to the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund. But I wanted to know, with rumors on Tuesday of WWE selling to the Saudis, do you believe that all of these incidents are a coincidence, or is this a sign of things to come?
Yeah. Yeah, I never like pictured Vince completely leaving to begin with. And I even felt like when Stephanie was there, she wasn't really doing much of anything besides probably what Vince would have expected her to do. So I wouldn't say that I was shocked like that much when we heard like the fake Saudi news happening, but I was just like, damn, like right now, like I don't know. I thought it was just weird timing because like this month was all about Sasha and where's Sasha going. And I feel like that pulled away from WWE. I feel like they kind of just did something, kind of like how like the Kardashians be pulling shit just coincidentally, just to pull attention away from certain things. I feel like that's what they was doing with this situation. I feel like this was planned. I feel like to a degree they might have told a source to go get everyone into a frenzy to pull that attention away. I mean, look, it got them on the news talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, the news was talking about WWE. When was the last time you heard them talking about WWE for anything? Anything. It was about Vince, right? It was about Vince. So I personally feel like this was a tactic to get us all talking, and it worked. Like the more I thought about it, I was like, it was kind. It was all for the wrong reasons, but it was kind of genius if you think about it. Because they don't care. They don't have any shame,
Very
you
true.
know. So, um, I feel like Vince is always going to be somewhere pulling strings, and this was just one of his tactics. And I mean, I think he did it successfully. What do you think?
Banks, I'm gonna swing it over to you.
Oh,
I
it's
want to
my
know what you
turn.
think. Yeah, it's your turn, bro.
Hey man, listen. So I'll go non jokingly right now. So apparently, Nick Khan, who is now CEO, had dinner with Bob Iger, or he was at the college game, according to a report, with Bob Iger, who was the CEO of Disney, if I'm not mistaken, and then one more exec from ESPN. I think that's the route they going. The Saudi thing is a little bit too much. If they would have went that way, and hey, the reports is funny because we got the A-Rab, money music playing over the intro, so that was hilarious to me. Dark times in hip hop, people. If you weren't there for that, uh, Busta Rhymes, you'll pay for a lot of your crimes, but that's another podcast for another day.
Not Buster Rhymes
So
catching a stray.
yeah, no, he always catches strays from me, especially. So yeah, we don't listen to Busta Rhymes over here. What's the meme said? None of my homies listen to Busta Rhymes. We don't listen to Busta Rhymes over here. However the meme goes. So I think it would be best in their interest to go with Disney now. Is Disney gonna swing that more than the $4.5 billion ticket that WWE is worth? More than likely, because they got it. They got that off just one Spider-Man property. All right, let alone other properties from the Marvel universe. I ain't even say nothing about the theme park, which they probably make most of their revenue from and merch anyway. So I think that's the route they're probably going, just because it makes sense too. And then if that's the case, then yeah, y'all prepare for Vince to be in creative control. So we're gonna have Austin Theory versus Chad Gable at WrestleMania.
That's a weird matchup, but I can see that happening if Vince McMahon is in
They both
creative
look
control.
like Disney characters. You
They
ever
both
seen
do. They both
what's
do.
the show?
He's just so unserious.
Like you seen what's the show with Hannah Montana, her little brother? That's who Chad Gable looked like, the little brother from Hannah Montana.
I'm
Wow.
weak. I forgot his name. I know who you're talking about.
I know exactly. I was about to
Yeah,
say the
he
same thing.
45, but
You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
he 45, but he look young. Yeah, he got the Frankie Muniz going on.
Nah, first of all, let me step in before this gets crazy, because that not a Disney character. But anyway, I kind of concur with what Banks is saying. It was interesting when all of this news kind of surfaced. One of the main things that was highlighted on CNBC the following day is that the stock price shot up. However, I think that if WWE is trying to sell, which I believe that they're trying to do, right? Like bringing on JP Morgan to help with negotiations for a sale, Vince McMahon returning as the executive chairman, Nick Khan is going out to dinner with all these execs. It's very, very clear that they are in play to make a sale. I think that the one thing that you have to ask WWE has to ask himself is, what is the long-term goal? If the long-term goal is to just get a bag, then obviously they can sell to Saudi because they got the money and they don't really got to worry about that. But if the goal is to get a bag but also have some form of longevity after the sale, then Disney would probably be the best option, because when it comes to media rights, Disney has so many different properties that they could place certain properties on, right? Between Hulu and Disney Plus and ABC and ESPN, and Disney has so much. It's interesting because people hear the word Disney, but a lot of people aren't even aware that ESPN is owned by Disney, right? And ABC is owned by Disney. So they have so many different places and pockets where they can put Raw, SmackDown, NXT, stuff like that. And if that is the case, then Vince McMahon would probably have to assume creative control. I don't think that any of these incidents were by coincidence. I believe that Stephanie was just there to hold down the fort until it was time for Vince to lead the negotiations. I believe that Triple H was put in the spot that he was put in to lead, to build up value up until it was time to begin those negotiations for a sale. It seems as if that those negotiations have begun, and I don't think that it's coincidental that this is happening around WrestleMania 39, which is going to be in Los Angeles. And so I feel like as we get closer to the event, it's going to be the WrestleMania 39 of WrestleMania 39 is probably going to be one of the biggest events in WWE history, because it's going to be the official pitch for why companies should buy WWE, right? It's in LA, it's where all the media executives are, and it's going to be this, hey, this is WrestleMania is a WWE thing. It's the sixth most valuable sports brand. And when you buy WWE, you're going to have access to all of this. And this is what's going to entice the NBC Universals, the Disneys, the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund. It's going to entice everybody. And it's going to be one of those situations where it's going to be like, well, may the best buyer win. So that was just like my little take on it. I do think that this is a very, very interesting time. What was you gonna say, Banks? Go ahead.
If I'm gonna say one Pacific talent, but if I'm the talent, who I talk to about a pay raise? If it's being sold to NBC, I don't care if it was sold to AT&T. I don't care if it was being sold to Nintendo. I don't care if Atari was buying it. Who I talk to about a pay raise? Now, if Disney buys them, if I'm Bianca, I'm the first person to be like, yeah, I need a pay raise. You know why? Disney is very good to put women of color on the screen these days, especially because why it's marketable now. And they've been doing that the past couple of years or so, minus Avatar. Those are people of color, but I'm not feeling those fake box spreads that they putting on them. So with Bianca, if I'm her, I'm the first person to be like, yeah, I need, hey, bro, I need at least three. I need at least three because they're going to have her working more than she is right now because Disney now owns the company and they're going to put her in the forefront. So, not even just her. Everybody needs to ask for a pay raise if they being bought by whoever. But specifically, if it's Disney, she needs to ask for a pay raise because they're going to have her working the most because she is the most marketable thing in pro wrestling. Again, she is the most marketable thing in pro wrestling right now. No slander to Roman Reigns. She is just the one. I'm sorry.
That's a. I was gonna say, Mo, did you have anything else to say? Because that was a very, very valid point. But I wanted to know if you had anything else to add.
No, that was. I'd have nothing to add to that.
It's interesting because Bianca also has the show on with Montez that's going to be coming on Hulu, um, that's owned by Disney. But going back to the main point, I want to know how everybody else feels about this particular topic, how they feel about the whole debacle with Saudi Arabia and WWE selling and all these other things, and if you believe that if this is a coincidence or if this is intentional. But we are going to move on